There you go. I'll just hit him up here. It looks like Tony is probably trying to come in now. So let me just add Tony. Yo, what's up, man? We live. We already live.
What's going on?
Yeah, not much, man.
I had to get the kids ready for bed.
Yo, man, that's life, man. We got to do things we got to do at the crib first before we can have our fun, right? And so, I was just talking a little bit about the Super Bowl and stuff, and talking about how the Seattle Seahawks beat the hell out of the Patriots, and just an amazing thing. And I thought that the training wheels was, they had the training wheels on Drake May pretty much for 3 quarters.
I also heard you talk about Papa John's. Are we talking about Papa John's now?
Yeah, okay, all right, man. Shit. So now I can say that on the yeah, I guess so. Well, yeah, we were talking about Costco pizza, Papa John's, and so yeah, I know you was talking about Papa John's earlier, and I said, man, I don't deal with that Papa John's stuff. I deal with the old Costco pizza. Give me a $9.99 Costco pizza that is cheese and pepperoni, half and half, and I'm good. I don't need Papa John's. And anybody that know about Costco pizza, you know that they can go toe to toe with almost any pizza out there.
I don't know. You get that Papa John's pizza with that green pepper, that pepper that they put with it, and they eat it together. Ain't nothing like it.
Yeah, I used to do it, man, a while back. I mean, but man, there's something about that large Costco pizza, which is pretty good. Now, the other thing is that you like the Wingstop. I know you like doing the Wingstop thing. And
it ain't the same now.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people was rushing the Wingstop, and I kind of do Buffalo Wild Wings too. Occasionally my wife will go to Buffalo Wild Wings. I kind of like Buffalo Wild Wings a little bit better than Wingstop. But I'm just gonna be honest. I like the Costco air fryer wings, and a lot of people are like, yo, man, what you talking about, man? The air fryer wings. Yo, I'm gonna tell you. I throw some of these up in here, and I'm gonna show y'all the picture. There you go. I'm probably getting them some free advertising. Pilgrim Ready Air Fryer Wings, crispy wings with honey barbecue. Yeah. with honey barbecue. This is my go-to. This is what I was going to. They gave me a sample of these because I usually get another brand. They gave me a sample of these when I was out Costco. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to go ahead and try them. For $12.99, you get probably about 40, 50 pieces in there. Throw them in the air fryer. I got one of those little air fryer ovens. My oven is a air fryer. My full oven is an air fryer mode. And throw them in there for like 16 minutes, man, and it's on. And I'm like, I don't need to be going to like these Wingstops and all these places for $12.99, man. I ate Costco pizza. I had wings, and we went to our local fries and got some chips and dip. So I had 3 different types of dip before the game started, and then I reheated my pizza and ate the wings for halftime, and I was good, man. So
but yeah, that Super Bowl, though, like you said, we had that pegged, easy Seahawks wins. That defense, they've been tested all season. When you play in the NFC West, it's like you got to go through a gauntlet to get out of there, And Patriots, they I don't know, they ain't there yet. I don't know if it's the quarterback kind of was a little suspect, but I feel like they haven't been tested really all season. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about. We didn't get on Tuesday, so that's why
right.
I was like itching to get on and talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Papa John's piece of garbage, man.
Hooper fans, I hear you, Hooper fans. I told you, brother. I hear you.
Hey, when I played basketball in college, I would eat a whole pie, and after playing basketball practice and stuff like that, I eat a whole Papa John's pizza. That's what we had in Tiffin, Ohio. I went to a small D2 school, so let's see the concession stand
at the concession stand, Costco. Yep, there you go, right there.
But yeah, that's the reason why I like Papa John's, because it's like my formidable years in my life. That's what I used to eat. So yeah.
Yeah, Shaq got a little hand in the Papa John's pot too. So if you want to support a brother, I know he's getting a small percentage. Sometimes he'll do like a Shaq-a-roni. like at the Shakaroni Pizza over there or whatever. But it's all good, man. I'm all over it. So let's see, somebody say on it. I don't know, man. Some of these comments are wild tonight.
What is it
It was
about?
like, man, they say your name, man. What's going on? But yeah, so at the end of the day, I think Hooper fans got it right. Appreciate the comment.
That's your opinion.
Yeah, he good because he said it was garbage, and
You
then
probably
he's like,
paid him to come in here and say that.
nah, I didn't tell him to come in here and say it. He said it was garbage, so it was kind of cool. It was like, no, man, what's going on? So, like I said, man, them Pilgrim Rings. I'm gonna show it one more time. Wingstop or Pilgrim Wings at Costco. Go to the freezer section and get those Pilgrim Rings. And I'm not trying to get an advertiser for Pilgrim Rings at all. I'm just saying that you throw those joints in the air fryer and throw their little honey barbecue sauce on top of those. Man, they so juicy. They already seasoned down. And my wife made a comment. She's like, "Yo, these are good even without the sauce." And like again, I didn't have to pay $40 and go through the cold fries that they give you at Wingstop and all that. So I was good. So yeah, man, the season's over now, and I kind of was just like looking at the Super Bowl, and I heard some people say this, man, and we got to talk about this. I heard some people say it was the best halftime show ever. Bad Bunny and things like that. And just so you know, guys, like I came from Holyoke, Massachusetts, in Massachusetts, right? Shout out to my hometown, Holyoke, Massachusetts. And I lived in Virginia till I was 15, moved to Holyoke, Massachusetts, and I was there for 20 plus years, through high school and everything there. And it's kind of like a little Puerto Rico, right? It's kind of like a little Puerto Rico. I mean, all my friends are Puerto Rican. I got, a half sister that's Puerto Rican, and I got a lot of Puerto Rican friends. But I'm just going to say this. I didn't understand a damn word that Bad Bunny was singing, right? But the vibe was good. The vibe was good. Like what he was doing, the vibe was good. I was feeling the vibe, but even though I didn't understand, the Spanish and all that, the vibe was good. And a lot of people are saying, man, it was the best halftime show ever. I'm not going to say that, right? I'm not going to say that because I believe that if in order to be the best halftime show ever, it's got to be more inclusive, right? People got to understand the language. People's kind of got to understand some things that's being said.
You sure about that?
Of course it does. Yes, absolutely yes. Like the vibe was good, but I'm even going to put the weekend halftime show a few years ago.
Hold on, no, don't switch to anybody else. I want to talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
So I don't agree with that because I feel like his music is globally like expansive, like it goes beyond the United States. He's not from here originally, but what he's doing in his career is like next level, and that's what they brought him in for. They brought him in because he has the most streams and all that stuff and stuff like that. He didn't get all that from making English speaking music, so they brought him in for a reason to be him. Well, he shouldn't have to switch his, dim his light for people that can't speak Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. My wife don't speak Spanish, but we understand the vibe and like what it brought. It was him to be his authentic self.
It wasn't the best halftime show ever. It wasn't the best halftime show ever.
It doesn't be the best halftime show ever, but he still did what he was supposed to do to get his point across and like to bring people together. Everybody was dancing and vibing and stuff like that because I loved it because even though I don't speak Spanish, I used to go to Puerto Rican clubs in Cleveland all the time. I frequent Puerto Rican clubs. That's what my wife said. That was my vibe.
Watch it. This is kind of nightcap edition. So Lonnie and Friends is kind of like the nightcap edition. We ain't talking. We talk about everything. Be careful, brother. You've been married for a while. Don't tell about what happened.
She know my previous stuff. I already told her. She know what this is.
Hey, you know what it is. Like, yeah, man. Back in you about to slip back into the day. And I'm like, oh, brother, yo,
I'm good now.
Slow down.
I'm gonna just get my tea bag.
Cool your jets a little bit, brother. But here's some that from a consensus perspective, you have a lot of the like billboards and NBC and all those. They kind of like do a poll of what they thought was the top from number 1 through 5 of all time. You know, Prince 2007. I'm not even going to argue with that. The Michael Jackson 1993. A lot of people weren't even born then, but I was, right. The Beyonce 2013. And the U2 in 2002 was really good, but the Dr. Dre one, all right, 2022, the Dr. Dre one was off the chain. Like that one there, I would say, man, that's gotta be, that's gotta be probably top three.
But I would say Michael Jackson is the reason why the halftime show came about. You know about the history of it, right? The history of, you know, Michael Jackson was the first one to do a halftime show. And it because I think it was, what was it, the Wayans brothers that actually did a show prior to that. It was like separate from the Super Bowl. Everybody had to switch from the Super Bowl to his channel, to the channel of the Wayans brothers. They did like a whole thing from In Living Color or whatever. They did like a halftime show, and it like got so many views. So they had to, the NFL saw that, and it was like, okay, we have to, you know, bring the juice pretty much to take that away from them. So they brought Michael Jackson in the first year, and it just blew up from there. So
that's crazy.
And I think that was 93. That's why.
Yeah, was it 93?
Yeah. It was the first initial halftime show like that blew up like that.
Yeah, it
was Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I remember it. You know, I don't remember it like it was yesterday. You know, that was a long time ago, but it was pretty crazy too. I mean, that the halftime shows are really cool, and I think that's what people really live for. Now, all these alternative halftime shows and all that, you know, that's all whatever it is. You know, do you whatever you're gonna do. But I stayed for this halftime show. I watched it. The vibe was good. Everything was really cool with it. But if you're gonna say it's the best halftime show ever, I would probably say not necessarily. But I do get it. I do understand it, and I do know what the NFL is doing. Right, the NFL is going to be global. They're playing the most games internationally ever next season, right? You know, they're you know, it's definitely some of the Spanish. You know, they were in Spain this year, and then you know they're going to be in other places next year. And I know what they're doing. They're going after a specific market, right? They're going after Europe market and the you know, the South American market and things of that nature. And I think it's really smart what they're doing because you know, even my team gave up. You know, they played overseas in Spain against the Miami Dolphins last year. And so when you have 17 games, you know, you leave one game open. You know, you got 8 games home and away, and then that one game can either be an international game. And I won't be surprised if the NFL at some point within the next 5 years go for a international team.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. Yeah, they're thinking about doing that, getting an international team somewhere in Mexico or wherever. But I was going to touch on the Bad Bunny again. If you go back and listen to the words of the songs he was singing, that's where it hits you. There's a guy that actually it's a white guy that actually does it all in English. He sings it in like the same way Bad Bunny sings. He does it in the same way, but in English. And it's
I didn't see that.
Listen to the words. When you listen to the words that he's saying, it's very inspirational. It's very, so even though it wasn't for everybody, when you actually do your research, then you see like, okay, this is some real fire stuff right here because it's globally. It wasn't made for just any one person. It was made for them, for the Spanish speaking, but everybody from all walks of life, from China, everybody was watching the Super Bowl, so they loved it. Yeah. So when you say when they say the top 5 or whatever globally, I feel like Bad Bunny's up there globally with it.
Well, look at that. Because
nobody else did global. Yeah.
Here's the viewers. He's number 1 ever in viewership.
Yeah.
You know, 135.4 million. He beat last year Kendrick Lamar and Michael Jackson.
Yeah, Kendrick was stuff last year, and I mean, blow that out of the water. Come on.
Yeah, so he topped out. He topped out what Kendrick did last year. So this is viewership around the world, and so you've got Bad Bunny number 1, Kendrick Lamar number 2, Michael Jackson number 3, right? Usher and number 4.
Hats off to Rock Nation. I mean, because this is what they're putting out there. They're coming together, putting out the best quality. Even though people may not see it that it's quality, it is quality because it gets the most views. That's all that matters. Views
Yeah.
is what matter in all of this. So when people like say it's not for everybody, then it's like, so it shows right here that you still got views.
Mm-hmm.
Viewership is what matters when it
Yeah,
comes to
your viewership's big, and some of the comments coming in, y'all N-word, no, that wasn't the damn best halftime show. Yeah, it wasn't the best halftime show. I mean, Tony disagrees. I tell you, it wasn't the best halftime show ever. Nobody cares about Bad Bunny. Yeah, they do. 135.4 million people.
Million people care.
Million people care, brother.
Yeah.
So whatever you're talking about, I don't even want to hear what you're talking about. This is definitely relevant. Yeah, this is relevant. And so that was kind of crazy, and yeah, but that was pretty good. Now, we have to start talking about this right here, man.
I was waiting. I thought it was gonna be James Harden. I'm waiting for James Harden.
Nah, it's not. We didn't really say you could throw James Harden in there if you want to, but we have to talk about nearly 1/3 of the NBA is engaged in the epic takeoff, right? The NBA, you turn on the NBA now that everybody's back trying to figure out what they're going to be watching, and if it's the NBA, when you start looking at all these teams that's taken to the bottom, all of them are taken towards the bottom. Sacramento, Utah Jazz, the Washington Wizards, they hold the second worst record in the league behind the Sacramento Kings. The Sacramento Kings are currently 12-44 and on a franchise record 14-game losing streak. After trading guard De'Aaron Fox to the Spurs last year, the team has shifted focus to developing young players. You're looking at the Wizards, who just made a crazy trade, for Anthony Davis. And so they're just saving these guys, stockpiling them, for next season, for their run next season, hoping that they get a top 5 pick next year. And, with 14% odds, them in Sacramento have 14% odds of getting the top pick. But we saw that last year that it didn't really matter about the odds because, who got Cooper Flag with the least amount of odds was the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
Right. But this is disappointing to see. Now you turn on the NBA and you have 1/3 of the league tanking, including Indiana Pacers. Indiana Pacers, the Brooklyn Nets. I get it. The Indiana Pacers, they don't have their guy, right, with Tyrese Halliburton, trying to come back from injury. But, this tanking thing has got me really crazy because a lot of people spend their money to come to see these players and either they're not playing or they're tanking, and the experience of the NBA is gonna lose a little bit of its luster if you keep paying for stuff and these teams are tanking and the stars aren't playing.
But do you know where it started? What team started all this?
What team started it all?
Yeah, what team started tanking and I
don't know, but I'm sure you're gonna tell
me. It was the San Antonio Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
When they got David Robinson, Tim Duncan, in that same, they got them, they tanked those years to get those guys. And that's where it started. Then the low management started with San Antonio Spurs.
Yep.
So all of that is starting to come to fruition. All these teams are doing all the stuff that Spurs started and all that stuff, and not putting it all on them because nobody had to follow them or whatever. I mean, but it's what they were doing. But the way the league is, especially with the fantasy implications, people don't want to play fantasy anymore because they don't know what the product is going to be. So
right.
It's because I play fantasy. I play fantasy. Yeah. So when I play NBA fantasy, there's guys that the game will lock, and they wait till after the game locks to say this player's out, and that should be against the law.
Oh wow! I didn't know that.
So that happens, and it's so that should be illegal. They shouldn't be able to do that because they know a lot of the viewership comes from people playing fantasy sports. Mm-hmm. No matter what they feel about it, how the coaches feel about it, it's still a part of the game and how you get paid.
Right.
We get more viewership. That's why your TV deals go up. because more people are watching because of fantasy. Fantasy was the big thing about it because everybody didn't like to watch basketball. They're watching it now because they have to because they have money on the line.
Right.
So with that being said, I feel like they need to get that. They need to get it straight. They need to figure out a way to not reward tanking. They need to start with like maybe the top 7 to 10 teams. They get something. They get some kind of incentive to get the higher picks.
Yeah.
And then the next, the final 5 gets a selection or whatever. So they got to figure something out to having an incentive to make it to the top 10. Then it'd be a lot more competitive to me. I think. I mean, I don't know the full, way to put it out, but that's what I'm thinking. They have to figure out something where it incentivizes everybody to play every single game. Because it's terrible right now.
Yeah. We're gonna take a quick little break, and then when we come back, I'll let you talk about your Cleveland Cavaliers and Mr. James Harden, and what have you seen there over the last few games on that. So we'll take a really quick break, just so people know what they're watching. We will be back in a second.
This crazy life race, and Lonnie and Friends, you'll always have a place. So as we close this chapter today, remember we're here, come what may. Lonnie and Friends, with life to impart, in the heart of the struggle, we play our part. Through laughter, through pain, we thrive and ascend. Join the movement, on us you can depend.
Welcome back. This is the Lonnie Friends podcast. I'm here. We got my boy Tony here. He's in Texas. I'm in Arizona. And, we're just talking about random stuff, man. There's no NFL. A lot of teams are tanking in the NBA. And, we just here just talking about it. And so, I know there was a big trade, recently, a couple of weeks ago. And now James Harden's on the Cleveland Cavaliers. And Tony, being a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, what have you seen over the last 2 or 3 games that you've seen James Harden play, and just how the team is adjusting to his presence?
Well, I see. This is what we talked about on the last podcast, talking about James Harden. I knew this is what was going to happen. He's going to need a facilitator coming in. This is what I saw from watching him play at previous teams. He usually comes in and do what they're missing, like the facilitator and stuff like that. And he's making Jared Allen play really well right now. Jared Allen had some big time points over the last 3 games, and James Harden is pretty much facilitating everything. And last game he had 13 points, 11 assists and stuff like that. So he's not going to score like people think he would. Thought he was going to do. He's playing a role. He's figuring out what the team needs, and he fills in and does it. So, and he's the quickest right now to get. I think it's 50 points and 25 assists, something like that, on the team in the first 3 games. He's the quickest. That was a stat, in the first 3 games.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's got like 25 assists. He's just, the last game against the Wizards was, 28 minutes, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 11 assists, and then he had in 36 minutes, 22 points, 10 and 7 against the Nuggets, and that was a win. Right? He even had 3 blocks in that game. So he's making immediate impact. He's gonna do that. You worry about him. Does he disappear in the playoffs? How does he play coming down the stretch? Does he disappear in the playoffs? Does he? How does he play overall? But we knew he was going to come in and do his thing, right? But again, he played 2 of the worst teams in the NBA. All right, his first 3 games, Sacramento and the Wizards. And he did throw some shine at Denver, right? He had 22, 10, and 7, but the other 2 games was against the worst teams in the league.
But that 22, 10, and 7 is what matters to me. Like that going
Yeah,
forward.
yeah.
And plus Mobley didn't even play. We only have Mobley's out injured. He didn't play these last 3 games. And he had to step in and do his thing. And I just feel like once Mobley comes back, he's gonna make him way better. Like just because of the rim running and stuff like that, the screen and roll, lobbing. You can't double anybody anymore because Mobley can actually step out and shoot a 3 too. So it's almost like the floor is going to be open for him to just drive and do what he wants once Mobley comes back. So
yeah, everybody's started because it's All-Star weekend here. It's the first time LeBron James didn't get the All-Star game because he didn't play enough, right? I guess they got a rule that you had to play at least 78? No, it's 68 games, I think, in order to get any awards, MVP or anything, all NBA and all that. So I don't think he is going to be there. And maybe and he's not even in the All-Star game. But when you look at it, there's not an American-born basketball player that has gotten has gotten the league MVP since 2017, and I think that was James Harden is the last American-born player that actually got the last MVP. Not talking about American-born. So we have like a 8-year run with no American-born MVP because the game is truly international, right? And so this is crazy. But right now, I mean, if you're looking at the MVP of the NBA, SGA, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, he's got 31. He's averaging almost 32 points a game, 4 rebounds and 6 assists. Jokic, who has already been an MVP, he's a walking triple double, right? He's averaging a triple double, 28.7, 12 rebounds and 10 assists. Cade Cunningham for the Pistons, he's having a remarkable season, and Luka Doncic, he's having a good season, averaging 32 points a game. And a lot of people think Jaylen Brown should be a little bit higher on there because he's doing more with less. He's carrying the Celtics right now. And so, but I don't think he's going to win it overall. But I think SGA might win it again, second time around.
Yeah, it's still early. I mean, we got a lot of basketball left. And I usually don't start talking about the MVP race until after the All-Star game because that's when it's going to get really heat up. Maybe a month or so before the playoffs start. So, but
yeah,
Detroit is at the top, and Cavs is right behind them. So it's I feel like Detroit is playing really well. They got into a scuffle the other night, though, but I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, that was crazy. It's a suspense coming out of that one, 4 games. I thought some of these guys should have been suspended longer, but I guess that's precedent, right, for what happened. I mean, you start coming off the bench. I think I forget who came off the bench. Came off the bench and threw a punch. I think he's got the most games suspended. But yeah, it was stupid. The Hornets and they shouldn't even been in that situation. But when you swing on somebody or mush somebody up in their face, these are grown men, man. You don't know where they grew up at, their background, their road to the NBA, and sometimes that comes out of you when somebody flexes on you or throws a punch at you, even if you're on the court. You forget about what you. It was a bad look overall. I'm just glad it didn't filter out into the fans and security was on top of it, but people were still chasing people, in that game to try to get a punch in, which is wild. Yeah, so that was pretty crazy. Looking at AI entertainment. Let's talk about that. AI entertainment is here in 2026. Almost everything is AI right now, and you don't know the fakes, the reals, or whatever that's AI. And I think a lot of people feel threatened by it. But I'm telling everybody, look, if you you need to really start to embrace anything AI because it's here. It's already in your Google searches. It's already doing everything on your phone. It's AI. Now you have the AI music. You have, movies that are AI. And it's kind of like reminds me of electricity. And people know the history of electricity. When electricity first started, people were doing candles, and then electricity comes on, and then everybody's going crazy over electricity. Like, oh man, people are scared of it. This is just another progression in society that we got to get used to. It's already been here for what, 3, 4, 5, 4, like at least 4 years now. But now it's relevant everywhere. Like it's in entertainment and music. Even a lot of the music celebrities have said, "Hey, we're going to be using this for our beats. We're going to be using this for our voice. We're going to be using this for everything." And so AI entertainment is here to stay. Once the genie got out the bottle, you wasn't putting this AI thing back. And it's incredible because, we make advertisements. I've used AI for advertisements, music, and all kinds of different things. And so I think that's a big deal.
Yeah, I have too, for my YouTube channel and stuff like that. But I feel like it's the only reason why I didn't like, you saw the commercials that they had for the Super Bowl, right? A lot of them were AI, and I was like, it was kind of threw us off because it wasn't the same. The history of the halftime funny shows wasn't there to me because there was a lot of AI stuff, and it was like that. I couldn't even hear if it was funny. I couldn't hear it because I was just looking at how AI was like already in the commercials already. I'm like, I didn't like it. I'd rather have the real people doing those commercials and stuff like that. But I digress because I actually offer AI services with the business that I do. So I can't really talk bad about AI because AI, like you said, is going to be here. There's a lot of people that like talk about my, my Cleveland Browns GM on my YouTube channel. How I would always make light about the Shedeur Sanders situation or whatever. But I would always say, like, instead of talking bad about it, start learning it because it's going to be in everything.
The prompts and stuff.
Yeah, the first step to knowing that it's AI is that's the first step. It's AI, so now learn more about it to get it better. So
don't run from it, embrace it.
Yeah, it's going to be around.
Don't run from it, embrace it. And so you saying
it's AI and I don't like it. It's not going to make it go away. So
no, it's not. Yeah. It's crazy. You gotta make sure that if you don't like it, it's everywhere. You're not gonna like it for a long time because it ain't going anywhere else. So start learning how you can do something to make money with it and make it to your advantage. And the more you know about it, the more it's going to position you to be able to make money using AI because it's in almost everything. Doctors' offices now are starting to use AI in the way they chart. Right. So it's, they basically come in, they sit their phone down and they record the conversation. The AI tells, hey, this is what the diagnosis should be. It goes into your chart. They can even now, and obviously the doctor has to approve everything that goes into your chart, what the AI does. But just think about that. You have millions and millions and billions of information and data points for AI with doctors and medical and everything like that brings everything to the forefront and is giving you diagnosis and everything like that. So AI entertainment is here, even in our doctor's offices, even in our homes right now, our television sets, your phone. If you ever use Google search, it's all AI. And it's giving you more in-depth information than you were ever getting before.
Yeah, and it helps you streamline your business because you can have a AI person answer the phone for you when you're off work. Like when you're not at the office, they can answer calls, book your calendar out, and do so many different things that helps your business grow and thrive, and it takes the pressure off your staff. So that's another good thing about AI. So it's a lot of good things coming out about it. There's some things that I don't like about it, but there's a lot that I do like about it. So
you say more good things that you like, more good things or more bad things that it's kind of a balance.
It depends on if it gets in the wrong hands, that's when it's gonna be bad. But when you utilize it for business and like doing it the right way, that's what I'm all about. But when people try to use it for the bad stuff and like create these different things, I'm not going to even say it because I don't like what I saw previously. But it's just bad stuff that they're creating just to instill fear in everybody. You know what I'm saying? So and I don't like that. So, but that's what I don't like about it. But when it comes to like business, like just making funny stuff. But when it comes to like deceiving people, I don't like that part.
Yeah, yeah. There's things in there, but the genie's out of the bottle. So you got to figure everything out now and see how you can make it to your advantage. And so people that are business minded, people like me and Tony, we're already doing stuff that's AI generated. I have a creative director for AI artists, and stuff. And so yeah, the music's good.
Great
And
music,
even
yeah, good music.
the music's good. The videos are
Yeah,
good. It's
if
like
you haven't checked it out, check it out.
yeah, check it out. Calla Rain, she's on YouTube now. She's got 2 songs out, top 50 on the Disco Kid list, and so she's been holding steady. AI music is gonna be there, and a lot of artists don't like it, but then a lot of artists is gonna say, "Hey, we don't need a band," and it's gonna hurt some jobs, right? It's gonna hurt some feelings out there, but it's not going anywhere. So just find a way to use it.
Yep.
This is a crazy ass question here. Sorry, guys. Do you go number one in the shower? Yeah, I pee in the shower, dude. I pee in the shower.
You don't pee in the shower? What?
Yeah, man. Who ain't pee in the shower? Like, I just seen something on one of the other podcasts, and dude was tripping. Like, nah, man, I don't pee in the shower, man. You pee in the shower? What you talking about, man? Like, it's all going down the drain anyway. Like, what's happening? Yeah, I pee in the shower, man. Yeah. I'm a grown man. I'm in my early 50s, but I still pee. I pee in the shower, man. There's something, what the hell?
What I'm gonna do? Like, get out of the shower to go pee to get back in. I mean, I don't want to track the water on the floor and slip and fall and bust my head open. Like, what kind of sense does that make?
It's wild. I'm like, yo, man, like, y'all, don't act like y'all too good to pee in the shower. And everybody, and if you out there, you say, I've never done it, man, you can look me straight in the face right now and say, you've never peed in the shower. I pee in the shower a lot.
You went pee in the shower. You went pee.
Yeah, because when you hear the water running, it's like, oh man, the water running. You're like, yo, man, I gotta use the bathroom. So I pee in the shower. Now, anything else? Nah. Pee in the shower? Yes. So yeah, that's pretty funny. I saw that out there. But but overall, man, like, coming up when you start looking at the NFL season next year, because there's the background of the season, and then of course now the Raiders do have their guy, the Seattle Seahawks. It was filled the last position, the defensive coordinator now. No, is he the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks? He's with the Raiders.
Oh.
Right.
Oh,
and so
Kubiak, right?
Yeah, Kubiak now is with the Raiders. And so which is pretty cool, right? And so now he's probably going to get the number one pick. He's going to have his quarterback. He's got a running back. He's got a tight end. And so everybody was talking about Max Crosby, whether Max Crosby is going to stay. I know he was there to meet Kubiak and stuff like that, and they probably had a conversation. But I think that Max Crosby is probably going to be one of the highest free agents out there. And you know what? I like it. I like it. In the next few weeks, we're going to see, salary, we know the salary cap is going up. We know that, the new season starts March 1st. A couple of weeks, we'll see the new season start. We'll see he'll be getting cut, right, as a, a New Year casualty. I heard Kirk Cousins is probably going to be out there on the street, with his contract. And so I think that Kirk Cousins still got a lot in the tank at 37 years old. So if you need a quarterback that can come in and start right away,
would you take him?
I wouldn't take him. I mean, my commanders are good.
Nobody's gonna take him.
Somebody's gonna take him. And somebody's gonna take him because I think he's a better quarterback than Sam Darnold. Right?
He's gonna be a backup. He's not gonna be a starter. He's not gonna be. I think he's gonna be a backup. I don't think any team.
When he came in for the Atlanta Falcons, he went like the last 7 or 8 games. He was 5-3 or something, 5-2 or something like that.
But this new NFL, you gotta be able. This NFL, you gotta be able to run the ball. You can't.
Sam Darnold's not a runner.
No, he can. It's Super Bowl.
But that's not his game.
No, he's very athletic. He just doesn't need to.
He's a pure drop back quarterback.
Well, the way their offense is structured, it is dropping. But he got out of that pocket. He's athletic.
Kirk Cousins still got it, right? Kirk Cousins still got it, and somebody's going to take him, even if they have to get a bridge quarterback or whatever. Then somebody's going to take Kirk Cousins, and it's going to be.
Arizona?
They could. I would say that if they need a bridge quarterback, yes, Arizona would probably be a place. Let me see. I don't know if I
Even the
did.
Raiders possibly, right? To help
Yep. Yep.
Boza get
Yep.
ready. Yeah.
Yep. Let me see. I thought I had this queued in, but I don't think I did. So when you're looking at the top free agents coming up in March, I would say Kirk Cousins is probably going to be up there. You've got Trey Henderson, that's the Bengals. He was going to be up there. George Pickens, I'm hearing that he's probably going to be franchise tagged, right?
Yeah.
But Trey Henderson, you kind of wonder is 39 sacks over the last 3 seasons. He was kind of hurt, kind of like the end of last season, right? Towards the end of last year. He's probably going to be 31 years old. You sign this guy to, you give him $30 million to come off the edge at 31. I'm not quite sure you're going to do that. But he is a free agent out there, and he had wanted to get out. He led the league in sacks, I thought, 2 years ago, right?
Well, Garrett has been leading the league in a couple of years. I don't know. Yeah, maybe he did. Yeah, maybe 1 year, but it's been Myles Garrett the whole time after that. So.
Yeah, Myles Garrett, he's been dominating. I think I saw a podcast with him and what's his name? He was on a pod. Wasn't he on a podcast?
Oh, with Parsons.
Parsons, and Parsons was saying, "Hey, I do it all," and Myles Garrett said, "Wait a minute, time out. Whoa, I don't know if I can like, get with you on this. I'm the sack leader." And so Parsons was kind of saying, "Well, yeah, for now, right?" He says, "But I can do it. I can do everything."
What do you think about this? The top two to me, because I know George Pickens. I think they already said he's going to get a franchise tag.
Man, that's going to cause a problem because
to me, the top two free agents that I'm looking at right now is Kenneth Walker and Breece Hall.
I want Breece Hall.
Breece Hall needs to go somewhere else.
I need him with the Commanders. We got money to spend.
Yeah, that would be a nice spot.
I need Breece Hall with the Commanders. Okay, he got juice. He got so much juice, man. I need Breece Hall with the Commanders. He's so versatile, and he's a really good player. He's just been with a bad New York Jets team, but I think I'm probably giving him a nice $12 million a year contract because he's still a young guy, and I think that 1,300 yards plus from scrimmage in 3 straight seasons. Breece Hall is, he's just so dynamic. I'm definitely want him. Yeah, I can think a good team's going to fight for him. But I think Kenneth Walker. I think that Seattle's going to battle to keep him, or they might even franchise him.
Yeah, but the reason why it's been hard for him to sign a contract, I heard that they were saying because Charbonnet is there. Charbonnet is
he's really good player.
But the injury actually helped catapult Walker to the forefront. Like, okay, this dude needs a contract. Who's going to give it to him first? Who's going to battle for? Because I mean, he has juice. I used to have him in fantasy football. He used to get hurt a lot because he had to do everything by himself. But when Charbonnet came in, it helped them his workload and everything. So I feel like they don't want to get rid of that. I feel like the Seattle Seahawks will give him everything he needs and wants.
But Charbonnet has the ACL though, right? He had ACL, so he might not even be ready next season, the start of next season.
So they got to bring Walker back,
But they got to, I mean, he's got to bring him back. And they were saying that he was trying to negotiate this contract while the GM had a few drinks on the float yesterday. Hey. He was trying to negotiate like a deal there. I'm like, yo, man, that's smart. But they're not letting him out the door either. They'll probably try to franchise him. I'm not sure what the franchise amount is for running backs now. And Breece Hall could be a franchise person either, like a franchise and trade type of situation too.
Do they? I don't think they have any big money tied up in anybody. I don't think they have to franchise them, right?
Who's that?
Walker. I don't think because they don't have big money tied up in anybody, do they?
Well, yeah, I do. Well, if he doesn't want to sign, he's going to want. He's going to want at least $12 million.
Yeah.
And then if they're going to have to pretty much see, the one out there too is, is Kyle Pitts for the Falcons and Isaiah Likely for the Ravens. The tight ends.
Oh,
Isaiah Likely. Yeah, Isaiah Likely, he's a good one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alec Pierce is a deep ball threat for the Colts. He just didn't have a good quarterback.
I've had my eye on him too. Guy that's a really good player. These wide receivers, he's going to be looking to make a little bit of money too. Probably north of $25 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
The salary cap for a wide receiver is what, 28.8. And the top wide receivers are making 30. Like CeeDee Lamb, he's making like 34, 35 million a year. And so you're going to have to figure that out. David Phillips, on the edge rusher. Alec Pierce is the one that I'm looking at out there, 21.3 yards per catch. It's a lot. He led the NFL.
Yeah. I had him in fantasy. And my team won a championship with him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even though towards the end it wasn't that great of playing with your boy Phillip Rivers, but Pierce was a dog to me. But
yeah, Daniel Jones, and then Malik Willis, he's going to get some action too for the Packers. Malik Willis came in and had some pretty good games in relief when Jordan Love was injured. And matter of fact, just looking at his overall arc and trajectory and how he's kind of remade himself into a really good quarterback. He was coming out of college, people thought he was a running threat, small school, he had a big arm, but it took him a while to get used to the game. But man, he got there in Green Bay and he comes into a game and you're like, whoa, this guy can actually play, right? And so I think he's going to be one of the sought-after backups out there. I don't think he's a starter, but definitely a backup, a really good backup. Somebody will pay him, $10, $12 million just to be a backup, depending on, where he lands.
Yeah, I have I'm hearing murmurs by the scuttlebutt. That's a water fountain in the military terms. They're talking about the Malik Willis might be coming to the Browns, and I don't want that to happen. On this thing I'm looking at right now, they're saying Miami. I don't think we can afford him. I wouldn't want to spend $30 million. Huh?
Malik Willis?
Yeah, because he's wanting two for 30, so it's 15 million a year. I don't want to keep giving money to quarterbacks like that.
That's easy money. That's easy money.
We have cheap guys right now. We don't need it. We don't need any more quarterbacks in the quarterback.
Well, I think Malik Willis could be your number one.
Yeah, Monken like running quarterbacks though.
Yeah, I think Malik Willis could be your number one guy if he gets in the camp. If you guys go and get Malik Willis, I think it's for him to be the starter. Because I don't think Deshaun Watson. I would take Malik Willis at this point after seeing him, come in the game and start a few games. I think that, man, he's a good player, and I think that if you guys get Malik Willis. Yeah, and with that defense, if you guys can keep those pieces together, I think you guys have a chance. Because, Deshaun Watson, I think he definitely can beat out your guy, Shador. I think he can beat out Shador. But nobody's beating out Malik Willis on your team right now if they bring him in at that price.
Yeah, I mean, maybe with this the way Monken's offense is ran, he likes running quarterbacks, but I don't know. We'll see.
Willis is not really running that much a lot, but he can.
He does.
But he's really good when he runs.
But that's the same thing when with Shador. Shador would run when he needs to. But if you get him the right protection, because we haven't seen what he can do with the right protection. So we all this stuff is being said about Shador, but he hasn't had the right protection. A wide receiver one. He lost his running back due to injury. There's a lot of stuff that happened, but we don't know what could happen. He can get a full off season to prepare and get ready and come out training camp, blow everybody's doors out. Once he gets
if they make a play for Malik Willis, it's for him to start. I think that because they
or his quarterback competition.
Yep, and I think I think Malik Willis will come in and win the competition. Between him and Watson, but I think they're trying to get that contract off of Watson, but Malik Willis, look for that to happen.
Yeah, he's still young. He can pretty much preparing for the if it doesn't work out with Shador, then Malik Willis is right there. Like, okay, we can put our name behind him to move forward. I can see.
And you guys need cheap labor, so 2 years, 30. It's cheap labor for a decent quarterback that can win some games for you. Obviously, you have a 5th-round pick in Shador. The best option would be Shador if you want cheap labor, right? Really, really cheap labor. But to get a veteran guy that's been around for 4 years, and Malik Willis for 2 for 30, that's a good deal. That's a good deal. And so we'll see how that plays out. But anything else on your board this week that we didn't talk about?
No, that's it for me. I'm sure there's a lot more. We always talk like on the phone, and then
we talk a couple hours on the phone. We can't do it here, but we can talk about pretty much everything on the phone. I know the Winter Olympics is going on. If you really care about it, me, I'm not a big Winter Olympics guy, but whatever.
We are watching it, but it's on in our house because my wife, she watches it, and the kids. My son is getting ready for the Olympics. He wants to be a swimmer, so we get him into that mode of like watching the preparation and all that stuff, and seeing what it's about.
So it's all good, man. So man, thanks for joining Lonnie and Friends. I just want to pop on here, and I'll pop on here randomly. Just to talk whatever, until like the basketball starts really heating up, then we can really start getting into some basketball stuff, and then whatever else is going on in NFL free agency. Baseball season is starting too. I mean, I'm not a big baseball guy, but in Arizona, if you guys live in Arizona or in Florida, the city that I live in, we have the Cactus League out here. I have the Texas Rangers and not the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Kansas City Royals here, and they're literally a mile down the road. And so baseball season is starting to come up, and then everybody's going to be taking a break here during the spring and going to coming to see their favorite teams play in the warm climate, because Arizona is like 80 degrees right now during the daytime. So everybody's going to be flocking.
We know Arizona has nice weather. You already posted.
You in Texas, so I mean, you should be good too. You should be
right. We good today, but we get freezing snow and all that stuff. So
I mean, we don't get all that. I mean, if you want to go up north and go skiing, you can have all that, Grand Canyon, Flagstaff, all that. But down here in the valley of the sun, man, we good weather, so we good. But hey, man, thanks for jumping on. Appreciate you. Good to see you. We'll talk.
All right, take care.
All right, you too. Peace.
Creating love in this crazy life race. And Lonnie and Friends, you'll always have a place. So as we close this chapter today, remember